All right, we're getting everything turned on here and going, and we're getting people coming into the room already. I love it. Some connections.
This dude is CC Chrome East. Yes, I am, and we'll go. But Jimmy is.
Good morning. Admit.
Good morning.
How are we doing today?
Peachy.
Awesome.
Good.
Glad to hear it.
Morning.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Hope everyone's having a great morning so far.
Coffee cup is full and warm. It can't get much better.
If that's not the truth.
All my listings are pending. It really can't get much better. Well, we give it another moment. Has anybody had any really crazy buyer deals this year where like buyers just don't want to do anything and stuff is delayed because they just don't seem to want to turn in their documents or respond to things? Anybody?
No, I have like 6 qualified or buyers who they don't even want to make a move. And then I have 2 other who are cash buyers and they're just waiting. Like this is the first time I ever had so many qualified folks fully pre-approved.
Hello?
And they just don't want to make a move.
Yeah, well, I mean, with interest rates going up and inventory and prices being high, you know, I've definitely seen some of that as well, for sure. But my problem right now is I've got one that we're supposed to close next week, and he just doesn't want to turn in his bank statements and pay stubs. It's just like, I'm not doing it. Okay, well, then you're not closing. People.
Yeah, that's wild.
I just got the email that my client got a new job that I didn't know about. So yeah,
Surprise.
we're under contract already. Yeah. It's awesome. It's all right. We just gotta wait for the new pay stubs. I think he still hasn't gotten back to me, so I feel your pain, Devin, but I think it's at the same job. It's just a new role. But I haven't even heard back to know for sure. I'm just making stuff up to make myself feel better.
Yeah. In March, I had one that, again, we were supposed to close the next week. She just needed to update her bank statements. I talked to her. Okay, great, no problem. 45 days later, nobody had heard from her. Her job hadn't heard from her. I called there even. I was like, maybe she died. They said, hey, if you hear from her, we'd love to know what's going on. 60 days go by. Vanished from social media, didn't talk to anybody. She just shows back up like nothing ever happened.
I would like to do that sometimes.
And then she has the audacity to message me and ask if I'll go show her another house. I'm like, no. I am a forgiving person, but no. People are crazy.
You have to draw those boundaries, unfortunately. You know, it keeps you happy, which will keep you in the game, and that's what ultimately matters. Sorry to hear that, though. That's a long time, and her poor job.
Yeah. Just kind of vanished from her life for a couple months, you know, needed a mental break, which I get that, but maybe tell somebody, you know, there's stuff going on. So that's the wonderful world of real estate. But hey, guys, in case you didn't hear, good news. Last week, nationally, inventory was up for the first time since June of 2019.
Woo!
Now, you may say not in my market, and I get that, but nationally, that means that we are starting to see that shift. We're starting to see some things last a little longer. We're starting to see more listings come. Part of that is, you have rates going up and buyers, some buyers dropping out or putting things on hold in that lower price range. But, a shift is a shift. And while it can definitely lead to some things long-term that we need to pay attention to, overall, that's good news. We're seeing the inventory finally start to pick back up. So yay. Hopefully we won't have 40 offers for $500,000 more than something's being listed for in the near future. 'Cause that's crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right. Well, how y'all doing today? Wonderful. I see a couple head nods, so I'm gonna go with that. That's good. Hey, as we get started, we're gonna share wins. I want you guys to share wins, but I need to ask a question. Is Melissa Hurley, are you on here?
Yes.
All right. Don't worry, you're not in trouble. You are totally not in trouble. But I just wanted to make sure, because one of the things that we're trying to do is check everybody who's reporting, and we want to celebrate people who are showing some wins. And you showed some great wins this over the last couple of weeks in terms of buyers. You're out there showing lots of buyers. You got some stuff under contract. So through your coach, Katrina, reached out and had a little conversation with Crystal Duckworth, your broker, and she sent me a little message. And I just wanted to share this with you, brag on you a little bit. This is what she said. I'm reading, I'm quoting. She said, she, being you, works all hours of the day and doesn't stop, taking care of 5 kids, lots of animals, has a heart of gold, and always taking action with a positive attitude. Will drive anywhere to show property. She is a true hustler. So people recognize that what you're doing is working, and we celebrate you.
Thank you.
So keep it up. Again, this is a process. It's not a magic pill. You can see some things start working right away, but really building that long-term success. But 3 weeks in, definitely seeing some things happen. And so we celebrate you and everybody who's been reporting some great numbers, guys. Really, if you haven't had a chance to report, please do. Of course, the link is in the Facebook page. But who else has a win from this week? It doesn't have to be a specific numbers win, but a win, an aha, something that stood out to you or happened or clicked that you'd like to share with us as we get started.
I'll go.
Yeah.
So I had a buyer consultation yesterday that went really well. So I think it just really helped to up my numbers, reaching out to my sphere. So I was excited about that.
Fantastic. Did you have a certain process or certain questions, or what about this one versus others did you feel really made a difference?
No, I think that as I've been doing it since I'm really new, I'm just been able to get more practice. So each time I feel like a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more at ease about what I need to say, and going through my packet that I give to potential buyers. So yeah, it definitely was kind of just going off of how the role playing and the scripting helps, because even just doing it in real life, as you continue to go, I feel like I get a little bit better each time.
Yes, yes, indeed. And again, I love how you tied that right into this week, scripts and role playing, and that practice, right? That's important for all of us. It's important in life. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and another Melissa. Everybody named Melissa is doing good this week. I love it. All right. Do we have any other Melissas that want to share? First of all, let's get all the Melissas. All right. Who else? Who else has a win that they can share with us?
I'll go. It's mine wasn't for script rolling, but when we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago with being part of the community and working together. So I had a VA client who is moving here from Georgia to New York. I've never met him in person. It was an online showed him a house via whatever live, and unfortunately on Mother's Day they lost one of their children in a car accident in Georgia, and their hearts were like devastated. So they called me and said on Monday, and they're like, we can't stay here any longer. Do you think you could help us out and get into the house earlier in New York? So with our community, the sellers were like, yep, the sellers got a hotel. They moved out of the house. They're no cost to them. The attorneys signed everything off saying, yes, they could have the house prior to closing. This 3 weeks before closing. And I reached out to my past clients who are all VA people, mostly the Army, to be honest with you, because this was an Army guy. And I'm meeting them. I'm hopping off the call a little bit early, but I'm meeting with them. We're stocking the house full of food. We're meeting them to help them move in. So really, it's a tragedy, but the warmth and love that he's going to feel by moving to Syracuse and meeting all these other veterans and his attorneys and the seller and the listing agent, it's really going to be hopefully turning a tragedy into a positivity, and just showing that we're not just real estate, we are real people, and with past connections and making new connections, that we were able to do this for this family.
Wow. Powerful the way everybody comes together. And that's the way we want it to work, right?
Yeah.
Where everybody's moving for the same goal because it's the right thing to do. And that's awesome. And hopefully they feel that love as well. So well done. Good job coordinating all that too. Making the best out of a terrible situation for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Well, anybody got something a little lighter that's a win after that? That breaks my heart losing a kid that you want to share. Nobody?
I guess
I'll
I'll go.
share.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Nikki.
Okay. So this week, my entire week is filled with at least 1 to 2 meetings, whether that be connecting with, someone that's not looking to buy, someone in my network, commerce, an association meeting, or actual clients. So every single day I have something. So that's exciting for me. I'm starting to finally schedule. So that's always good.
Excellent. Well done. And that's going to help you feel that energy too, as you have things that are on the schedule to look forward to and to go to.
Absolutely.
Builds confidence for you as well. Awesome.
Thank you.
Tally.
I was just going to share, I really enjoy the scripts. I like the scripts because I can actually relate to them. It doesn't feel foreign to me. So it's easy to adapt them and get used to them. And I have taken a section every day just to kind of focus on. And I had a seller listing appointment last Friday, and I think I used all the objections. He passed them all to me. So it's just, I read that section before I went in there, and I felt a little bit more confident. And I don't know what it is about anybody else, but since I've started this, I've got another listing appointment coming up. I've got a buyer appointment tomorrow. So it's nice to see all the work you're doing. It's coming into play.
Absolutely. Excellent. A listing appointment and a buyer appointment. Well, fantastic. And yeah, I mean, the whole point of scripts is to give you the tools. We do not want you to, okay, you have an agent. Here's what I say, right? That is not the point. And I've met those agents where it's like they're obviously just reading it right off of the thing. And maybe you start there, at the very beginning, but we want you to get it and kind of internalize it and make it yours, right? Your personality, your style. Absolutely. But congratulations on that. How about 1 or 2 more? We love wins. We love successes. TJ's iPhone, you just lit up. Did you have something to share?
Oh no, just listening in. I'm actually heading to an appointment now. So it's a rental, but hopefully I'll get it closed. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, rentals can always turn into buyers. They can turn into referrals. Exactly. Absolutely. Go and kill it, my friend. Awesome. Somebody else? I thought I saw somebody else light up there for a second. Maybe. No. All right. Well, here's the thing with scripts and working through scripts. The whole point is to practice. But remember, I love this quote from this week. Practice doesn't make perfect if you're doing it wrong. So we want to make sure that we have accurate information. We want to make sure that we're using scripts that actually apply to the situation. It does no good for you to throw out objections if they're not asking objections. They're asking questions about how you're going to do something, right? So the important thing is that you practice, but make sure that you are comfortable with what you're sharing so that you're using the right script in the right situation. And situations are always going to be a little bit different. It's no client is the same, right? Have you realized that? Have you seen that? Everybody's personality, everybody's goal, like everybody wants to make money, but some people have other motivations involved in what they're doing when they're selling. Everybody wants to buy a house, but some people have different things that they're focused on in buying that house. They care more about the school district. They care more about the kitchen. They care more about the garden, right? So, it's not, the scripts are there to help you, but it cannot be a thing where you just, okay, here's my script, and you just blurt that out in every situation. That's not the way this is going to work effectively for you. Kevin, Dave, you guys got anything to share as we get started here?
Yeah, I would just agree with you. Like, I think of it like a bumper bowling, right? As you're having a conversation, the scripts are the bumpers, and they just keep the conversation on course so you can knock down the pins, right? So that's what I like about the TLR ones as well. They're just these little tidbits that can, right the ship and keep you moving towards your end goal. So practice, right? Practice.
I just say big takeaway is championships are won on the practice field. That was one of the things, I think it was Jake that said it. And you think about like the NFL, they play 17 one-hour games, but they practice 2,000 hours a year. So it's not the 17 hours on the field that they get paid millions of dollars for. It's all the practice they put in. So put your practice in and you'll be rewarded for it.
That's exactly right. Such a good thing to remember. When you see them, making those touchdown passes or hitting those home runs, they're not there if they didn't put in the practice beforehand. So guys, what are some other things that you are starting to notice now, just in general, going through the track process? And anything that's changing about the way you're looking at opportunities, the way you're doing things? What is going on now that we're 3 weeks in for you that you're noticing, hey, this is starting to affect my business, my mentality, my mindset, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it?
Well, I've learned to say no to some things. Like we talked about that. I tried to go to all the classes at my market center, but now it's like, is that really helping me to grow? So I've learned to say no to a lot of things.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. Yeah, we can't realistically do it all, right? That's right. Excellent. Anybody else?
I can say that I'm building a lot of confidence in my conversations about real estate. The more I go out and I talk to people and about real estate and just meeting new people, I'm naturally I'm a talker. I never met a stranger, but talking about what I do, that was like one of the hardest things for me because I never really talk about myself. Or brag about myself, but in real estate, you really have to say, hey, look at me. I'm pretty good at this. I can do this. You can trust me. So I've been building my confidence in that area.
Okay, awesome. And that's so important. You're so right. A lot of people do not like to talk about themselves naturally. I mean, there are some people that love to talk about themselves. It happens to some of us, but most people do not. And so, when you have somebody ask you, well, why should I work with you? Or what business have you done? Or, tell me about what you're going to do. We kind of, but in this business, you can't downplay that, right? Here's my success. Here's what I'm doing. Here's my marketing plan. You have to have that ready to put out. And if you're not confident in it, you're exactly right. They're not going to be confident in you, are they? So that's fantastic. I love it. Anybody else? Something that you're noticing?
I guess how much time there is in a day and how much you can actually accomplish with purposeful intent. So getting cutting time wasters. I had a couple games I still really love, but they were deleted. So I can spend more time doing what I have to do. And so that's something that I realized has given me hours of time to actually focus on things that will make me feel better. So this has helped me kind of focus.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Yes. Purposeful intent. I like that phrase. That's powerful. That's powerful. Well done. And yeah, it's hard to give up something like that you like, or to say, hey, I'm not going to scroll social media as much. I'm going to be purposeful, get on there, post what I need to post, or look at what I need to look at, and not, check out everybody's newest Instagram pictures or whatever it might be.
Yeah, because with those games, I even tried putting it in a folder on the third page of my phone, and I would still scroll, click, 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 and get on the game. So I'm like, I have to delete it, and I don't want to, but I did.
I get it. It's like, well, all I need is 3 minutes to check in, because I have a couple of games on my phone too, just so you know. But that 3 minutes can turn into 30 if you're not careful. Right?
Yeah, super easily.
And it doesn't matter what it is. Maybe you're a reader and, I'm just going to read for 5 minutes. I got 5 minutes. You get absorbed in what you're reading and an hour goes by. I mean, you think that's good, but not if you got other stuff that you need to do. Not if it means that you're avoiding making your phone calls, making your contacts. Right? Just saying. These devices are powerful and they give us so many opportunities and so many options, but we can easily get distracted by them. I mean, how many of you, when your phone buzzes and it's a notification, you automatically are like, what happened? What is it? Who's messaging me? What's that? And then you realize, it's just a news update or whatever it is. But now do that 300 times a day, and you're talking about several minutes that you just lost just from being distracted by notifications. So absolutely. Well done. Hey, so here's another question for you. Again, I want you guys to start thinking a little bit more as we're getting into this.
Yeah.
Around week 3 is, did you want to say something? I'll let you talk first. Who was that? No? Okay. Around week 3 is when we start to kind of see people fall behind. Everybody comes in, everybody's excited. And then, again, it's like, okay, this is actually work. I actually have to do some stuff. So how are you doing really? Is anybody willing to say, you know what, this is harder than I thought it would be and I'm struggling?
I'm struggling. I have so much. Nikki just said she's found more time. I haven't found more time. I found less time. There's so much to do. I don't know where she's getting those extra hours.
I loved my game.
Sleep, you don't need that. Like between 2 and 4 a.m., there's a lot you can not.
I mean, in laundry, my husband's like, really? I'm like, I can't get anything done.
No, it's true. It really is. As you start getting into this and you start looking at stuff and, okay, I need to work on this. I need to work on this. I need to work on this. But what have we told you? And you'll hear us say this again. Sometimes you can't focus on everything. Okay. And that's the beauty of track, but also the thing you have to be careful of is that Kevin says this all the time. You're drinking from a fire hose, right? Sometimes you just have to step back and say, okay, I'm going to work on this for a little while. I'm learning all this other stuff. I'm taking notes. I'm going to pay attention, but I'm going to focus on this. You may not be able to do all of it right now. Okay. And that's why we encourage you to go through track again in the future. Whether it's right after finishing or whether you take a quarter off and then come back and do it. We want you to consistently come back to work on the fundamentals, but also because we realize, if you get into this script practicing and say, man, I've got to work on my scripts, you can easily spend several weeks just building yourself up in this area and be like, okay, I missed all this other stuff. Right? And that's okay. Do not, listen to me, everybody, do not feel pressure to try and take and implement every single thing right now. I mean, if you have the capacity to do that, God bless you, you teach the next quarter, okay? We want to know how you're doing it. But if not, that's okay. Focus on those areas that you're identifying that you say, yes, I really need to work on this. This can get stronger, but it's okay for right now, right? How many of you have gone through the wheel with your coaches? Anybody? Okay, if you have a coach and you haven't gone through the wheel, get with them and say, hey, take me through the wheel. I want to go through that, right? The whole purpose of our agent wheel or broker wheel, for those of you that are brokers, is not for you to look at it and say, okay, I've got to get better in all of this stuff. It's to look at what are the areas that are the weakest and say, okay, let's focus on that for a little while. Okay. So it's all right. It's all right. Is anybody encouraged though? Like maybe you don't have 40 things under contract right now, but man, I really see how this is making a difference for me. I saw one head nod. Okay, so the rest of you, not so much. That's okay. We'll just keep going. Any other thoughts though about like what is this doing for you 3 weeks in? It doesn't have to be a win, but just what is this doing for you 3 weeks in? What are you challenged by?
I can say that like when you first come into real estate, you don't realize how much work and time it takes to change your hats and to market yourself as a new realtor and just to learn all the ins and outs, and you need support, and I'm finding that here. So that's a big ha-ha for me. And I'm encouraged and I'm reassured that I can make it as a realtor and I won't be in that percent that drops off in 2 years. But if you don't know these things going in and no one directs you in like to TLR, to the locker room, I can see how agents fall off without that support.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, it's your business.
Yes.
And nobody's successful alone, are they?
No. And no one tells you that this is going to be just like your business and you have to run it like a business.
That wasn't in your real estate classes?
No.
Wasn't in mine either. Wasn't in mine either. All right. Let's transition a little bit. Let's get into what the theme was for this week, right? With our scripts, our objection handling, all that good stuff. First of all, what did y'all learn about yourselves with going through scripts and practicing your scripts? Like, does anybody, oh, I've got this down. I really like this. Anybody like, I've been avoiding this?
Yeah, I'll say I've kind of been avoiding it because I just need to find a good partner to practice with.
Hey, that sounded like a question for the group. Just throwing that out there. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to say I love role playing and scripting. However, I'm having a difficult time finding partners. That's the hardest part. So I actually do it with my family. My kids know my scripts. So if anybody in the group is looking for a partner, I'd love to partner up. I did make a post in there, but I think it's good to actually role play with a number of people because they bring out different scenarios and different responses.
Wonderful. Absolutely. Yeah. And that, again, part of the wonderful part of the Facebook group is we're all in there. So yeah, find a partner. I'm going to put out there right now, 2:00 this Friday. I'm going to have an open gym scripts. It'll be on my Zoom, not on Kit's Zoom, because she's got other meetings. So I'll be there for at least an hour, and I'll stay longer if people want to, but y'all can come and jump on and we'll just go through, if you want, whatever script you want to talk about, we'll go through that together. Okay. Scripts, lead gen, conversion. That's something that I'm very passionate about. That's something that I focus a lot on. And so that'll be Friday, 2:00 Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not Eastern, it's whatever it is for you. And I'm going to put the Zoom in the Facebook group later because I haven't actually scheduled it yet. But that'll be Friday, and y'all are just welcome to come and join in for as long as we want to on Friday. But yeah, it's important that we do this and do it consistently, right?
Viviana put in the chat that she's willing to do some script practice with you guys. So if you want, you can put it in the chat. You guys can exchange emails however you want to do it, or if you want to do it through Facebook, that's fine as well. But there are some people here willing to help.
Absolutely. And again, that's what we want. We want you guys to make those connections. Sometimes it's easier to do your scripting practice with somebody who maybe isn't in your office and you don't know quite as well. A little less embarrassing if you mess it up, right? That's just my personality. I'd rather screw up with somebody I respect but don't have a personal relationship with as much than somebody that, like, I might be competing with a client for them. So that's just me. But I love this quote. I wrote this down. It's not in the week, but I just found this earlier. It's from Jenny Craig. How many of you remember Jenny Craig? Right. She said, it's not what you do once in a while, but what you do day in and day out that makes the difference. And that's the thing about, our scripting is, sure, I can sit down by myself, once, go through the script book and oh yeah, that's good, some good tips. But if I'm not coming back to it on a consistent basis, I'm going to forget stuff. I'm going to mix things up. I'm going to not have it fresh in my mind, so that when those questions come, when those objections come, like, how many of you have had somebody who you've reached out to, you've been talking to, they said, I have an agent? How many of you froze and you're like, okay, I don't know what to do right now? Right? Who wants to practice with me real quick? Come on, right now. Who wants to do this? Who wants
Let's
to be the consumer? All right,
Let's do
PJ,
it.
you're in. All right, so I'm calling you. You reached out on my website, on a property, whatever. I'm calling you. Ring, ring, and you answer the phone. All right, go ahead. Answer the phone. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Yes. Hey, this is Devin from XYZ Realty. I just noticed that you had reached out on my website about a property 123 Main Street. Wanted to give you a call and see if you had any questions, how I might be able to help you.
Oh yeah, that property was really nice. I was actually hoping for an additional bedroom, but I really liked a lot about it. The neighborhood was nice, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to know more about it. Maybe even see it again. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. That's exactly what my website is for you to be able to browse and take a look. I'd love to take some time to talk to you for a few minutes if you want to do that now, or we can schedule a time later where I can get some more information about what you're looking for. Now, you need to tell me you have an agent here. That's what we're going for.
I appreciate all these questions. I really do, but I have an agent. I really like them, and I just kind of wanted to use your website just to kind of see about this one property.
Oh, okay. So you have an agent.
Yeah.
And you're committed to that agent?
Yeah, no, I've known them for a very long time. Yeah.
Okay. And you've signed with that agent?
No, I know them, and they're really close to me, and yeah, they're my agent.
All right. So for you, the benefit of working with that agent is just the personal relationship.
Right.
I understand. Okay. So now I'm going to pause. We'll come back to what you're saying here in a moment, but I'm going to pause of what I'm doing. Did you notice how she hesitated when I asked, are you committed? Right. So I immediately took that hesitation as, okay, she's saying she's got an agent. She likes that agent. That's wonderful. A lot of people like whoever they've talked to. Okay. But that immediately led me into the, have you signed? No. So what do we know, agents? What do we know? If you haven't signed, then?
I mean, it doesn't really count.
Right. So that's why the benefit question is so important. What is the benefit of working with that agent? So when she says, oh, it's because I have the personal relationship, that can be something that you can still overcome if you can prove value. Okay, because I have a friend who's a brand new agent. They've never sold anything. All right, well, I mean, I might be able to help you. So again, I'm leading with these questions, and I've put her off balance, even in the way she hesitated. And so now I've established she's not committed to the agent. Technically, she hasn't signed anything, but there is a relationship there. All right, so let's rewind. Let's go back. You just told me, yes, you have that personal relationship, and you really like your agent. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've known them for some time now. So yeah, they're my agent.
Well, I certainly don't want to intrude on that relationship, but let me ask you one final question while I got you on the phone. If I was able to find a home that had everything you wanted and most of what you needed, would you be interested in working with me and taking a look at that property or not?
Yeah, yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, fantastic. Then let me ask you, what is it exactly? So she just said she has this relationship, she likes this agent. However, if I find the property that she wants and I bring that to her, she just told me she'd be willing to work with me instead of her friend. Did y'all catch that? So now what do I need? I need to know what she wants, don't I? Yeah. And so under 5 minutes, I can go through this, I get what she wants, and then I don't need to bug her. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to work. And if I can find, she tells me I need 4 bedrooms, 2 baths in this school district at this price point, and it needs to have an updated kitchen and a fenced in yard, then my job is to go out there and find those things, not bug her with every single listing, because that's just going to annoy her and piss her off.
Yes.
But she said, if I find the property that she wants, she would work with me.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go out and find that. I'm going to contact every investor I know. I'm going to look at my for sale by owners on Facebook Marketplace, on forsalebywowner.com, on Zillow. All right. I don't care if y'all love or hate Zillow or not. Every second, 186 homes are looked at on Zillow. You need to make sure you know how to find the for sale by owner stuff on Zillow. You don't have to pay them anything, but know how to use it. All right. I'm going to go and do everything I can to find that house and send it to her, because as soon as I send her something that is right in that vein, guess who she's going to dump?
The friend.
The friend. And who's she going to start talking to?
Honestly, that makes so much sense, because at the end of the day, they're focused on, what their friend's supposed to be helping them out with. And a lot of the times, and I'm talking as a new person, we have so much that we're occupied with learning the systems and creating our schedules and trying to branch out, that we don't do our due diligence and focusing more time on the few people that we do have. So a lot of friends, especially when it's friends, it's like, oh, maybe, I'll focus on that next week. But if there's someone else and they're going for the vein, like you just said, and it's quicker and it's exactly what they want, I love my friends too, but it makes sense they're clearly in need. That's why they asked the friend. So it makes a lot of sense. And you didn't force it either. You kind of were just questioning and leading the conversation. If someone can sense that you're trying to draw something out of them immediately, they are immediately feeling like, okay, I don't owe you anything. And now you're just asking and asking. And then you start spamming them. That's just the absolute worst. So that actually would lose credibility. So definitely don't do that.
Absolutely. And that's why I say you can't just set her up on a general search in this case.
Right.
I've got to take what she tells me. I've got to pay attention, make notes, and I've got to go and find that. So if she tells me beds, baths, price, school, fenced yard, I'm not sending her something that doesn't have all 5 of those. Well, it's got 4 in this market. That's enough. No, not in this case, because she has told me she's got an agent who's a friend that she is working with, which tells me that agent is sending her stuff. And probably because it's a friend, they set her up on a search and said something along the lines of, okay, if you see anything in the portal you like, let me know, we'll go see it. Yes? That's probably what happens in that kind of a friendship relationship. That agent is not working on her behalf. That agent is there if she finds something she wants, most likely.
Most like a partner more than an agent.
Not always, but most likely she is the one who's looking. And if she sees something, she's reaching out to the friend, say, hey, I like this house. Can you get me more information? Oh yeah, sure. No problem. Right. Have you all seen this before? I see this all the time. And again, for the last 5 years, 80% of my business has been online leads. So I've had to talk to a lot of people that I've gotten people whose mom was an agent, but mama wasn't paying attention to what they wanted. So guess who they bought a house with? I had one guy whose wife was an agent.
No.
I listed their house with her having an active real estate license. Right? Because she was so focused on the business, she did not care anything about what they were looking for. She's like, oh yeah, you go find it. He's like, okay, I'll go find it with Devin. And we did. That was a fun closing, real fun closing. All right, but again, here, I'm going to go through this. I want you guys to write this down. It's the time where you should take a pen, take a piece of paper. All right, write this down. I have an agent. Paraphrase first. Oh, you have an agent. Right? I'm not questioning that. I'm not saying who is your agent. A lot of people will do that. That's a power play, and it's kind of a jerk move. You are not endearing yourself to somebody when you do that. So paraphrase, oh, you have an agent. Right? I'm just open-ended. They might stumble right then. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, kind of, I talked to somebody 3 months ago, okay, you don't have an agent. All right. Paraphrase. Then number 2, ask the committed question. Are you committed to that agent? She told me she had a friend, but when I said, are you committed? She stumbled. Paraphrase, commitment. Then are you signed? Because even she said, well, yeah, I mean, kind of. Okay, she stumbled, but she still is kind of. Are you signed with that agent? Because that's a different thing, isn't it? If they say, yes, I've signed with that agent, okay, fantastic. What I would love to do then is go ahead and reach out to them, let them know that you found this property that you liked on my website so that they can help you. Right? I'm coming from a place of contribution. I still want to help. And I want to do it in such a way that if something happens, they hopefully remember, man, Devin was nice. He was kind. He was willing to help. But I'm not stepping in when there's a signed agreement. Get yourself in trouble. All right. So have you signed with that agent? No. Again, no, I haven't signed anything. We're just really good friends. We go back a long way. Then the benefit question. What's the benefit of working with that agent?
The friendship, the relationship that's there.
Right. But here's the thing. So that's the objection. But that friendship can also be a hindrance. That friendship could also mean that you're working with an agent who isn't as experienced. Now, I'm not unpacking all of that right then. And that's why, because I don't know, she didn't tell me the agent's name. So I don't know who it is. I don't know how experienced they are, but I know that there's this personal relationship. And I know that most of the time, people who are working with their friends are not giving them A++ service. So that's why I went into the 5th question, which was, if I can help you, if I can find exactly what you want, not just find houses, because your friend is already doing that, but if I can find exactly what you want, would you want to know about that from me? Because they may say no. And I think I've probably had 2 or 3 people over the years that have said that. No, I'm really, really going to work with my best friend. Okay, that's fine. Hey, thanks so much for reaching out, looking on the website. If you ever need anything, please feel free to give me a call. Click done. But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna, probably more than 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, they're gonna say yes. Because if I can find the house and friend agent can't, they don't want to miss out on what they want just because of the fact that it's their friend. They're not going to do that. Would you do that? Of course you wouldn't. That's not good business. That's not good financial sense in any way. So again, you paraphrase, ask the commitment question. Are they signed? What's the benefit? And depending on what the benefit is, I mean, even if she said, well, I've been working with somebody who, and they're an agent, they've been in the business for 30 years, and they're one of the best agents around. I mean, I can deal with that too. Oh, man, that's fantastic that they have that much experience. Do they have enough time to commit to you personally? Or if I can make sure that I am spending time, talking about what you need and going and finding it on your behalf and not just waiting for it to come to you, would you be interested in knowing about that house? Right? I can turn it however the response is. But I have to start with those first 4 things: paraphrase, commitment, signed, benefit. And if you go to somebody who tells you I have an agent and you work that process on them, most likely you are at least going to open the door at minimum to where you can help them if you can go find the house that they actually want. Bam. You're just creating clients, even though they told you they have an agent. Thoughts, questions, comments? No, none at all.
Well, I was gonna say, like Nikki said, even for new agents, that was eye-opening, so that I can make sure I don't do that with my family and friends. Just to put them on a drip and go away. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You don't want to lose the people in your sphere, because again, we talk about working your sphere, and it's
Yes,
so important, right? But if you're
absolutely.
not actually working your sphere,
Mhm,
somebody is going to, right?
absolutely.
That's the reality. So, but again, this is a script. Now, when I said, oh, you have an agent, are you committed to working with that agent? I mean, did it sound like a script? No, I'm just having a conversation, asking questions based on what she was saying, right? But it's totally a script. That's the beauty of effective scripts. Kevin, Dave, comments, thoughts, anything to add? I always put them on the spot because they're other, coaches, leaders with me here.
I mean, I think it goes right back. It's acknowledge, right? Oh, you have an agent, isolate and overcome. So it follows the same basic pattern that they talk about in the video. So
Yep, absolutely.
And I think it's important, just like you've been saying, to not be scripted, to know how to handle the objection, but you're not reading it. It's got to be natural. It has to be in your own words, and that's why you practice.
Absolutely. But again, even with scripts, here's the thing, guys, even with scripts, everything still has to lead to a next step. Like, it doesn't matter if you have words to say if you're not driving towards something. I'm driving towards an appointment. I'm driving towards talking to a lender. I'm driving towards setting up a search. I'm driving, I don't want to just talk to people in this regard, in terms of like, I'm going through my scripts. I have a purpose in what I'm doing. I want to know, can I help you in this case? And the answer was yes, I can still help you. I just have to drill in and be specific. I can't be general. Right? Everything has a next step. Even as you're having your conversations, we want you to have just natural, general conversations, but you've got to look for where are the next steps. That's where your opportunities can come in. You don't do it salesy of, oh, well, it's great talking to you. I'm going to call you back in 3 weeks and follow up since you said you might know. So no. But I have in mind, oh, they mentioned they might have a friend who's looking to buy or sell. That's where I need to make sure that I'm sending that handwritten card out. Hey, it was great talking to you, great reconnecting. Right? I'm doing everything I can to stay top of mind for them without being super sales and sleazy, right? You don't like sleazy, do you? I don't like sleazy either. But think in terms of those next steps as you're working on your scripts, as you're going through this process, whatever it is, there's always a next step. What challenges do you have as people say no to you? Right? We had the Go for No challenge. Did anybody do the Go for No challenge? All right. I see one hand, one head nod.
I think a challenge for me is just trying not to take it too personally. I had a friend from high school end up going with another realtor, and just still trying to keep that friendship without letting it, kind of hurt my feelings that she went with someone else.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the biggest thing that paralyzes a lot of agents, right? Is they're going to say no. Like, oh, I can't take the no. Did that physically hurt you? Did it break any bones?
No, and I think it was, just good to get like a personal no. Like, I've gotten a lot of no's from strangers, but then having, somebody that I've known a long time say no, it's like, well, the world didn't end. We can still be friends. She just probably wanted someone with a little more experience. She ended up going with a realtor that her lender had referred her to. So just, understanding that and then just moving on.
Absolutely. Yeah. With the whole idea of the go for no is to put you in a position where you learn how to just shake it off and move on. Right? Because it's going to happen. Even to the very best top producers in any company or any agent, it's hard. It doesn't feel good, does it? Right? It doesn't feel good, but there's still other people to help. Right? There's still more people out there. Somebody needs what you have. Somebody wants what you're able to offer. Somebody is going to be the right fit for you, personality, business style, whatever it might be. That one it. But if you focus on that one, guess what? You're going to miss the next one. And that's the true tragedy for a lot of people is they get paralyzed with the no and they miss other opportunities because of it. So I love the go for no challenge because if you do it, you know, yes, you have to deal with that emotion and oh, they said no and I don't like it. It doesn't feel good, but that's okay. There's another opportunity. And that's all about mindset, right? I have to have in my mind that it's okay. You need to say that to yourself. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Some of you are not saying it. I'm looking at you. Your lips are not moving. It's okay. It is. Tomorrow the sun will come up. Tomorrow you will be able to go and find more opportunity. It's okay. It's okay. Questions, thoughts about the no and fighting back against the no and overcoming the no.
It's inevitable, right? I mean, if we look at the math of track, the idea is to have 5 conversations a day because there is only a 2% conversion rate, right? So if you're committing to these 5 contacts, there's no way you're not going to get a no. So as it says in the thing, it's just you're one step closer to the yes.
That's right. That's right. And that's something that some of you maybe need to put up post-it note, put on the side of your computer or on the wall behind you. Just, I'm getting closer to the yes. Right. So when you're making those calls, when you're making those contacts, all right, they said no, but that means I'm closer to the yes. Because the math is the math. Right. And so the more no's I get, if I'm doing it, if I'm actually putting in the effort, that means statistically speaking, I have to be getting closer to a yes. That's just the way it works. So again, it doesn't feel good. It's not fun, but consistency. That's why we preach the consistency thing. All right, here's another question for you. Again, I want you guys to share a little bit. All right. What are you most excited about or frustrated about in your business right now? Either one or both.
I'm still tackling the time management piece. So it's not frustration, it's just trying to get it under control.
Okay. And are there specific steps or actions that you're taking to help you be able to do that?
Time blocking and trying to stick to the time blocks that I have in place and looking at my schedule throughout the day so I don't get off track.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, and again, you have to keep coming back to it, right?
Yes.
I would say for me, it's the unqualified clients, the ones who really want a house, but maybe their credit score isn't where it needs to be, or they don't have enough for the down payment. So trying to stay with them and keep them engaged, even though they may not be buying a house this year, it might be next year.
Sure, absolutely. Does anybody ever have that problem? You encounter those folks? Absolutely. TJ, let me ask you, what resources are you directing them to? What are you doing right now to try and keep that engagement and keep that connection?
Making sure that they are still in touch with the lender, getting them some down payment programs. I'm working with a lender now who has a lot of down payment programs, but just keeping them engaged, still sending them properties, and just trying to let them know it can happen. If you have to rent for a little while, we can do that. And then we'll come back next year and buy something.
Absolutely. Yes. So important. Again, having solutions, right? You're going to encounter this problem if you're working with online leads for sure, or if you're working with a lot of first-time home buyers, if you're going out door knocking, if you target an apartment complex, you're going to run into this sort of an issue. So TJ, I love what you said, talking to the lender about the down payment programs. How many of you know about the down payment assistance programs in your area? All right. My first 3 years, one of my primary things was a down payment assistance program that was local for a specific city that nobody was using. Lenders didn't know about it. Most of the agents didn't know about it. So I would immediately start talking to people that were looking in that city. Did anybody talk to you about this down payment assistance program? It was grant money, so it was free if they qualified. And nobody knew about it. I won so much business because they had talked to other agents and even lenders, and nobody had ever told them about this. I talked to them about it. They were able to get qualified, $7,000 down payment assistance for free. That separates me, right? So you have to go out and find out about those things and what lenders, because different lenders have different programs available, right? What is your state program? How does that work? You guys need to know that. What about a credit specialist? How many of you have a credit specialist in your back pocket? Right? Credit repair gets a bad rap, doesn't it? And there are some shady folks out there for sure. But man, if you get a good credit specialist who actually knows what they're doing, and you take a non-qualified buyer who's committed to actually doing the process, man, you can have somebody who a lender says it's going to take them a year or more. You can have somebody ready to go sometimes in 3 to 6 months if you have a professional who knows what they're doing and how to help, and you refer them. You know what I do for my folks? Again, you build your business the way you want to, but if you sign the buyer agreement with me and you go to my credit specialist, when you buy a house, I'll reimburse you 3 months of that fee. Because it does cost to work with a credit specialist. So I have people that they're not qualified, but they're serious. So let's get you qualified. Man, that's worth $300 back at closing for them to go and get done what they need to do, right? Different options. Some lenders say, oh, well, I have a credit program that I can take them through. I always want to know from my lenders what that looks like, because some of them set them up on a drip campaign that sends them an email every month and tells them, do this, do this. That is not helpful. All right. But some lenders actually have programs, processes. They have their own credit person who's going to walk them through their credit report, talk to them. Right? No objection cannot be overcome if you have the resources and the knowledge and the connections. Talk to your lenders. What have you got available? Find a credit person. What have you got available? How does it work? I'm not referring people to you unless you tell me how it works and what it costs. Right? Because I'm not scamming people and it's my reputation on the line. But absolutely. And then you set them up with your reminders so that you're staying in touch with them too. I don't just leave it to the lender. I don't just leave it to the credit person. I'm staying in touch too. How's the process going? Is it working? Now I'm getting notifications on the back end when they sign up. So I already know if they're doing it or not doing it. All right. But I'm actively engaged and involved in the process, and they see that. Absolutely. You can create a lot of business by helping those unqualified buyers become qualified. How many of you have done or want to do first-time homebuyer classes? Right? You go and get you a lender who has multiple options for down payment assistance, and you have that credit person ready to go. You can build your pipeline very, very easily by offering that, because lots of people do classes, but they don't offer those other resources and sources. It's just like, okay, well, good luck to you. I'll love to talk to you in a year when you're ready. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to forget about you. Right? What else? Who's got something you're excited about? We've only got a few minutes left. What are we excited about?
Piggyback off of what you said, Devin.
Yeah.
Also, for our down payment programs in our area, we have different organizations that run them. They also will partner with realtors to do a part of their home buyer training. And usually you can pick up a lot of leads that way. I used to do it all the time.
Absolutely.
And they're already pre-approved with the down payment program, because that's one of the last steps in their process. so that you
Absolutely.
have good credit and everything else. So maybe some people want to look into that too.
Yes, yes. And when when you have the right lender partner, title partner, credit repair partner, lending, down payment assistance, you get them to pay for everything too, guys. Like, I don't pay a dime for my classes. In advertising, I don't pay for the meal. I don't pay for the venue. I'll pay for anything. I just run it all, and everything comes back to me. But you have to have the right partners that you go and talk to for that. So absolutely wonderful, wonderful idea. Anybody else? Couple of minutes left. Last chance. Something you're excited about, something you're frustrated about.
I just have a question for the group if they have any ideas. I'm struggling with getting my 10 handwritten notes out, just because being so new, I don't have, a ton of clients or past clients, and I'm kind of like going through my sphere, and I'm kind of running out of people to write notes to. So any ideas on that would be appreciated.
Reach
I'll
out to
quickly share. Oh,
Okay, I was just gonna say quick, reach out to some vendors that you could send business to, an attorney, a mortgage professional, a landscaper, a plumber, an electrician. Introduce yourself, put a couple of business cards in and just say, looking to connect and expand that way. It's a great source of business. We get more business from our referral partners than we do from our database.
So yeah, I did put a post on my next door with some vendors, and I've been reaching out trying to do some meetings that way. But if you do the cards instead, do you put in the card that you want to set up a meeting to talk with them, or just kind of introduce who you are?
Connect with them first. Just build a relationship, whether it's through text or phone at first, and then take it to the next step and just say, hey, would love to sit for a minute and just find out a little bit more about your business. So,
Okay.
and obviously when you find out about their business, next thing they're going to do is ask you about your business. So.
Excellent. Somebody else had something to share.
that was me, and Dave kind of stole it. It's just well, I'm also in BNI, and I'm very active in BNI. I'm also consulting director in BNI. So I'm constantly meeting vendors every single day. And I make a point every night. If I don't get a chance to do it, I'm an early riser. It's the first thing I do in the morning. To every person I've met, whether it's a Zoom call, in person, coffee, whatever, I always send them a handwritten note after I meet with them.
Wonderful.
And I keep note cards on my desk, and I get all my stamps from Costco for the discounts, because I'm always doing it, to the point that if I don't have something in the mailbox in a week, the mailman will go, are you okay? I didn't get any of your cards. Are you doing all right? And I recently switched firms. So I went through my entire database, and I have been just messaging out with my new business cards.
Wonderful.
And that's one of my buyer appointments that I have tomorrow.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Great insights, great thoughts. Thank you all. Remember, Friday, 2:00 Eastern Central Time or Eastern Standard Time. We'll have open gym for script practice. Go through whatever you need to. Have a great one.